I'm back in St. John's again. The City of Legends. Wait, are we the City of Legends? So yes, I'm back in St. John's, and in order to get here, I had to spend all of Friday on a coach. But not just any coach. It was a motor coach. It was okay. Departing the subject of the bus for a moment, let me make it absolutely clear that I am aware of the state of my beard. Look at that. My mustache really wants to be a curly sort of mustache, and I keep trying to tame it, but it doesn't really want to do that. I really need to trim it, but I don't want to do it right now. So what am I going to do? Central American Revolutionary hat. Now I look less like a bum and more like a militant communist guerrilla. Militant and guerrilla might be superfluous. But I digress. Alright, 4 things that happened on the bus, and they all have a similar theme, so I'm going to talk about them right now. And the theme that they share is self-image. Or maybe less self-image and more self-consciousness. First thing, the man in the seat behind me spent about 20 minutes to a half hour singing. Even though I was curious, I didn't turn around or look at him until about 2 hours after he stopped singing because I was pretty embarrassed for him.
He wasn't that quiet before.
But I'm not quite sure why I would be embarrassed for him, because he clearly wasn't embarrassed for himself. He was having a good time, he was being himself, and despite the fact that it made it difficult to read, I'm not quite sure I should be judging him. I thought it was a bit strange, don't get me wrong. But then something else happened. In Gander, which is my favorite stop of the trip, we stopped for supper. There's a little diner inside the airport, so everyone goes in and they get their food, and you have a half-hour supper break, and you can stretch your legs and you can eat greasy, horrible, terrible food. But I brought my camcorder in, and I was kind of trying to surreptitiously wave it around. But the guy in front of me in the lunch line was a guy who was sitting just 2 or 3 rows back from me on the bus, and he had noticed me waving the camera around previously. So he asked what the deal was with the camera, and instead of saying, "Oh, I recently started video blogging, and so I decided I was going to document a bit of my trip so that I would have more interesting footage to show on Monday than just me inside of a bedroom," I said, "I'm shooting some video for my mother." "Oh yeah, you're not from around here? Where are you from?" "Corner Brook. It's only a few hours away." "Oh, is your mother from away?" "No, Mom's from Clarenville. We'll be there in like 3 hours." "Oh, okay. So you're recording video for your mother." I say all that to say 2 things. 1, I'm not a very good liar, and 2, I am so self-conscious about this thing that I lied to a complete stranger about it. And that is not the end of the self-conscious tale. The last 2 stories of this 4-part motor coach story series involve me and nobody else. In the afternoon, I read the only book I had with me. The Merchant of Venice, which I guess is not strictly a book, but it is bound. I won't say that I was like afraid of being found out or anything, but I will say that I spent the entire time that I was reading The Merchant of Venice acutely aware that other people could see that I was reading, and acutely aware that it would take very little investigation to discover that I was reading Shakespeare, and very acutely aware that those people would probably then judge me. Why would those people then judge you? I don't know. Do I have to explain all of my insecurities to you? Back off. So yes, I half kind of almost wanted to and sort of did hide the fact that I was reading Shakespeare because I was afraid of being seen as some intellectual masturbator on the DRL coach line. I was afraid that strangers would reject me from, I don't know, the hoi polloi or something? Which is ridiculous because, and this is the 4th story, the bus people in the evening put on a movie. The movie that they put on was The Last Song, starring Miley Cyrus. I had finished my book, the battery in my laptop was dead, and I wasn't about to video blog on the bus. I had nothing left to do but look at the screen. And I'm not saying it was a terrific movie or anything, or that it deserves any of the awards that it might accidentally get, but I actually watched the movie. And I enjoyed it. Why am I that close? And I was entertained. But I did want people to know that I was entertained, so I'd be watching it. And then when I realized that I was smiling at something that someone had said or something that happened, I'd kind of... 3 hours earlier, I had so desperately wanted to be accepted by the unwashed masses that I had kind of taken pains to make sure that no one knew I was reading The Merchant of Venice. And now here I was trying to hide my enjoyment of the movie so that they wouldn't think that I was one of them. What's wrong with me? I mean, I know nothing's wrong with me, at least not medically. I mean, I think so. I mean, I have read significant portions of the DSM-4. But it struck me then how ridiculous I was being. I had kind of half-judged that morning someone who was happily singing a row behind me. And then, when someone asked me what I was doing with my camcorder, I lied about it because I didn't want to admit that I thought I could do something creative. Then I tried to hide the fact that I was reading Shakespeare because I didn't want to look too intellectual. Then I tried to hide the fact that I was enjoying a Miley Cyrus movie for exactly the opposite reason. And come to think of it, I'm not a Latin American freedom fighter either. Ow. So I've been thinking about how self-conscious I can be, and I have one message for myself. Stop it, you idiot. Although maybe you could stand to clean up that beard, it is looking a little bit scraggly. Not because you're self-conscious, but just because I'm sick of eating hair while I'm trying to eat other things. Holy crap, this has been recording for almost a half hour. If I can edit this down to less than 5 minutes, I might actually be a god. Hi, is Mr. Rourke there? Just tell them to halt construction of that temple. The video was like 7 minutes long. Well, I don't know. I think Mr. Rourke will understand that I can't compromise on the video. Oh wait, this phone is dead.